Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your Destiny Dad. Welcome back. It feels like it's been like 2 decades since I made a video. I think I've only missed 2 videos, but my last little bit here has been pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I picked up a different job while that first job was on its downtime. For those of you that are following the dad job lore, and it was supposed to be just a simple painting job. And as always, for anybody out there who does blue collar work like yours truly, it's never just a simple painting job. So it's turned into a whole lot more, and my days have been a lot longer and a lot more tiring than anticipated. I got myself some sun poisoning. I pushed myself pretty darn close to having another heat stroke, I think, but I guess I can't really confirm that for sure. But yeah, I've got a couple days off here. And yeah, Zer's here. I know I missed last week's. I completely forgot about it. I literally thought that yesterday was today, and I was in bed. It was like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, oh god, I forgot to make a Zer video again. Oh well, guess I just don't make one. And then I woke up and it's like, oh hey, today's Zer day, not yesterday. Also, I apologize for bumping my mic again. It's been a minute since I've made one of these. But let's go and see what our handy dandy friend Zer here has for us this week. Oh, it's the emo. I was gonna say, is he more red than normal? Because I didn't remember him being quite so red. Alrighty. So first off, we have Lucky Pants. Got a base stat of 59. We do have Bulwark. I'm still learning all the names of the stuff. I do not have them memorized by any stretch of the means, but most, if not all of mine, is trying to be specialist, because I think for general play that's just going to be the best. If you can get like your tertiary and super, you can have your specialist gear. Specialist and there's another one that I had that was pretty nice. But have I not masterworked my helmet? I haven't masterworked my helmet. Yeah, might as well. Yeah, I'm enjoying the new system, the new grind. Not my favorite. It's different, and that is the big cinch there. That it's new and it's different. This is not my highest. I think I'm. No, I hit 270. Did I dismantle something by accident? I may have dismantled something by accident last night while I was very tired. I know, no, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I could have swore I hit 270 last night, but maybe not. But anyways, the new system is kind of throwing me for a loop because it's very different. Exotics especially are just not in a great way right now, but Zer has had some pretty decent statted exotics here the last couple weeks to pick up from. Even if they're not perfect, if you don't have a big stash of exotics in your vault like some of us do, I think I've shown off my vault before, but just to give us an idea of what Dad is working with here. And like, ooh, that's actually, those are going to be solid. Not that Prometheums are anything crazy, but that's real solid. But yeah, like, just if you don't have a massive cache of exotics to sit on that looks like this in your vault from years of playing, Zer will have things that are going to be useful for you. They're just not going to be as useful as we are used to being, if that makes sense. Lucky Pants, I probably wouldn't go with that role personally. I would want a weapons role over anything else. Is it the, not Paragon, is it specialist? That is, yeah, I honestly probably would go specialist for something like Lucky Pants. That would make the most sense, I think, anyways. Up next we have Arthur's Embrace. We've got Grenadier, and we've got a base of 61. Grenade, super, and weapons. Again, this is a melee based exotic. You will have to forgive me, I am still very tired. It's been a long week. But considering that this is a melee based exotic, having a high grenade stat doesn't sound too enticing to me. For our Titans, we do have the Armamentarium. It is a specialist, and this is one where we actually would want a grenade stat, but for just general play, we do have class and weapons with a tertiary in melee, which is not bad, I don't think. It would have been nice to either have Grenadier or just your tertiary and grenade, one way or the other, but it is what it is. It's not awful. If you don't have a better one, that would definitely be a worth pick. For the Titans also, we had the Lordly Splendor Helm. We've got Paragon, which is super and melee, and a tertiary in grenade. You know, I can't tell if that's good or not. My brain is trying to think if that would be useful on Lordlies or not. I feel like it's a good general play role, but perhaps I'm incorrect in that. Let me know in the comments if any of you think that Paragon goes well with Lordly Splendor. I can't really tell. For the Warlocks, we do have the Crown of Tempests. There's a specialist role. We've got class and weapons. I would probably want, at the very least, a tertiary in super for a Crown of Tempests. Maybe a Grenadier or, Brawler, that's the melee one. And then just spec into super with the rest of what you can. But that's not terrible. It's just not optimal for, that's the thing, for the foreseeable future, at least the better part of a year, I guess, from what they've said. Exotics, really, you're not gonna care about the stats so much because they're all guaranteed to be within like 2 or 3 stats of each other. Like there's not gonna be a high spike or a low spike. And because we have these categories, families, typings of armor, I don't know what you want to call them. Because we have these, you're guaranteed to get certain stats. So exotics, you don't really care about the stats, you just care about where they are. So you're looking for like which archetype, I guess, of armor, and then your tertiary. So for something like Crown of Tempests, I would either want like grenade and melee really high, or I would want super high. And then the tertiaries from whichever, one of those that you picked to go into the others, But yeah, I don't think that that's terrible, but I also don't think it's optimized for what Crown of Tempests is doing. And last but not least, we do have the Necrotic Grips. We've got Gunner, which is grenade and weapons, and we have a tertiary in melee. Actually, on the OG, like, Necrotic build with, Osteostriga, and consuming your, was it shackle grenades that everybody consumed, or was it threadling grenades? It's one or the other. That would actually go really hard on this. The melee is kind of whatever. It's not bad, but it's nothing crazy. But that's actually a really, really solid set of necrotic grips. If you don't have a better one, I would definitely recommend getting that. That's actually a really solid roll. For more strange offers, we have our usual cacophony of materials, as well as having ourselves some raid banners. And then for our strange gear, this week we have the Bad Juju Catalyst, very, very good. We've got the Lord of Wolves Catalyst, also very, very good. We got Darcy, which is, in my opinion, a solid sniper. I loved it for PvP. It's the only 140 I've ever enjoyed using, and I ran it in comp for the first few years of Destiny's life a lot. I still remember my loadout was back then, I guess during year 2 is when I really started it. most of year 2, and then like year 3 and 4, I guess, I was super heavy in comp. I would use a Randy's throwing knife, and I had an Aaron Till, but there was another fusion that I liked better than Aaron Till. A different void fusion. Oh god, I can't think of what it is right now. It's just a world drop, I'm pretty sure. And then I had Darcy, and that would be my comp loadout. So I'd be running high level comp with a sniper, a scout, and a fusion in year 2. And I would hit max rank every season somehow. Up next we have the Fighting Lion. Very nice primary ammo grenade launcher. The first primary ammo grenade launcher to my knowledge. And just a real solid ad clearing machine. Works really well in builds and in rotations and things like that. We have the Jade Rabbit, a beautiful PvP scout. I believe they keep buffing it in little ways to make it better in PvE. I don't think anybody has or ever will use this thing in PvE, honestly. But it's really solid, and if you don't have one, get it. If you hate scout rifles, get it, and this scout rifle will make you like scout rifles. Please get this. It's so good. Last but not least, we do have ourselves a Hawk Moon. We have small bore, we have quick draw, and we have combat grip. Combat grip aside, that's a solid roll. I would prefer a different grip there personally, but overall that's not terrible. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. And I do not know if you can still, let me actually check this myself, because I can check right here. Where are we? Exotic. Can we still pull Hawk Moon for, yes, so you can still pull Hawk Moon from collections. So if you have the resources and you feel like doing that, you can just get yourself a God Roll Hawk Moon without messing with Xur. That being said, this is 23 strange coins, the other is enhancement cores and glimmer, so whichever you have more of, feel free to use. For our legendary weapons, ooh, we have an Adept Scintillation. Okay. We do have liquid coils, we do have res burst, and we have fluted barrel. There's no refilling of the mag, but overall this is a really solid linear, and if you don't have one, that's actually not terrible. It would be nicer if you had like an overflow or some sort of ammo refunding for the res burst to stay topped off constantly. You could go with Vice Stinger, but there's no guarantee that that's gonna proc every single time. And of course this thing can get bait and switch, which just is better damage for less hoops to jump through. But if you don't have a solid linear fusion rifle, this one is not bad at all. Next we have Faithkeeper, a seasonal weapon from Echoes. I believe this thing is craftable, so if you do not have it, I would say go ahead and pick it up. I don't think it rolled with anything super special. It's a precision frame, so its damage is kind of not the best, but it's an okay gun. It's fun. I like it. Next we have Reed's Regret. We have Surplus and Successful Warm-Up. We have Liquid and Poly and Fluted, and I would skip personally. I don't know, I've gotten several reads over the years when they've like come and gone, and I've never been able to nail down a good one, which has always annoyed me because at one point it was the best linear in the game. Up next we have Anamnesis with Successful Warm-Up and Demoralize. Ooh. We have and we have Polymer String. Oh, that's a really good roll. Polymer, Straight Fletching, Successful, Demoralize, and then if you enhance it, you can put on Tension and drop that draw time even lower. And reload speed is a real solid. Actually, 540 might be the lowest. So if you can't do that, then I would probably, if you enhance it, go with Synergy. Synergy or Abundant Ammo, one or the other. But Anamnesis is such a good bow. If you don't have one, please get this one. This is such a good roll. This is such a fun bow. And just, it's so pretty too. Like, it's just all around. This is one of my favorite bows that they've ever released. And it's a really solid roll, so give it a shot. Next we have the Keen Thistle. We have Under Pressure and Bait and Switch. extended mag, hammer forged, and arranged masterwork. All right off the dome, it just is one of those guns that's got a half PvE roll and a half PvP roll. So for me, it is a pass. I will leave that choice to get it or not up to you. Bait and switch is not bad. You do have under pressure and extended mag so that you get more ammo and more damage overall. Might be a case use scenario for you, but for me, that is a pass. But next we have a deadpan delivery. We have elemental capacitor and frenzy, accurized, full choke, corkscrew, and range. This thing could definitely have some better rolls than this. And I'm trying to think, I don't think aggressives are doing super hot right now. Is it still rapid fires that are good? Or is it precisions that are winning currently? Can't remember. I need to stay more on top of shotguns. I just don't use them all that often. But this roll overall, I would probably skip on personally. I don't think that there's really any play outside of maybe saying like I need a shotgun and this one has a damage perk. Like that might be the only thing that you could say about this one. But I think it came with much better rolls for PvP for sure. And in terms of PvE, I don't really think it had any crazy roll. Up next we have Whispering Slab. We do have High Ground as well as Pugilist. We do have Flexible String and Straight Fletching and a Reload Masterwork. If this is a bow that you want to build into, this is not a bad roll to use that for. Overall though, I don't believe that this is anything crazy or anything to write home about, but I think that it's not bad at the same time. This thing did have a really solid roll. This is another weapon that I couldn't nail down. I got god roll after god roll of all of the adepts from last season. I've got several shiny adepts from last season, but I could not nail down Whispering Slab and I could not nail down a good adept psychopomp. I got like the last week I farmed so much. I'm not kidding you. I dismantled like 5 or 6 shiny adept psychopomps in like the course of a day. That is how many like I got, so, and not a single one of them was even close to good. Like I think I had one that had Ambitious Assassin and all of the right column was garbage, and I think I had one that had Rolling Storm and everything else was garbage. I have my non-adept, which is basically as much of a god roll as it can be. It wasn't shiny sadly, but it's, you know, perfect outside of that. But there's just, I don't know, there's certain weapons that give me really, really bad luck. I got like the god roll of the SMG first rip. I got 3 or 4 god rolls of the AR. I got so many god rolls of the sword and the glaive. Just at this bow I really wanted, and I got everything else. I couldn't get this bow, and Psychopomp. I couldn't get Psychopomp. But anyways, if that's something you want to mess around with, give it a shot. If not, it's up to you. It's definitely a build into kind of weapon with that rule. Next we do have Refusal of the Call. We've got Discord and we have Vorpal. It's not a terrible roll. Discord only refreshes on your shot kills. So if you're poking things with this weapon, it does not refund you ammo. I went for a Discord roll at first and I got one, and once I realized it didn't work like that, I was like, yeah, no, okay, I don't care anymore. So I would personally not go Discord on this. Vorpal is not bad. Swap Mag is really good, and Super Cold is also pretty good. I think Auxiliary is the best one, but Super Cold is pretty solid. But overall, if you're someone who likes to shoot your glaive a bunch, then that's fine. You'll get use out of Discord, and Vorpal's a solid pick. For me, I like to poke with my glaives. So I think the role that I have saved was Replenishing Aegis and then Close to Melee, and I think I have a... Did this one have Overflow or Reconstruction? Or Envious? It might have been Envious and... Was it Vorpal? Or was it something else? I had 2 that I saved. One was Replenishing Aegis and Close to Melee. I know that, and that's the one that I use a ton. The other one was a ammo refund and a damage perk. but I don't remember which damage perk I had on it. Anyways, Refusal of the Call is a very, very fun glaive and super good in my opinion. Definitely worth a pick. I wish it wasn't Discord, but overall this is a really solid roll and it's not going to do bad by you. And lastly, we do have the Duty Bound Adept. Man, another one of those guns that just I couldn't get to drop a god roll for me. And how much I wish that this was one. I had one that was triple tap and 4th times, and that was, the rest of it was garbage, sadly, and that got dismantled a long time ago. But this was the first real like goofy quirky weapon that could have like that kind of double ammo regen perk on it. And it was just, I don't know, I've always loved this. I remember when it was first put into the game towards the end of year 1, when they updated and actually gave us strike specific loot. It was a static dropped masterwork. There was no random rolls or different perks on it. It just was what it was, and it kind of shook the game up a little bit when it first came out because it was just new and different, but I don't think it was ever good. But it's got a special place in my heart. That being said, I could see somebody using this in PvP if you are just a laser beam. Could you run around with this and not have to reload most of the time? So if you're dueling, if you're running 6s, small bore, extended, probably perpetual, and then 4th times I would go with, and then I guess Vanguard. That would be like the only play. In terms of PvE, there's no play here outside of the ammo regeneration and for primary weapons. Unless you're pairing this with like a Vorpal or something along those lines, there's no real reason to use it. So I would definitely skip on this if you don't care about PvP. And even then, if you really care about PvP and you're not like into doing quirky stuff, you're not going to want to use this anyway. So, but it's really neat to see that weapon come back. So I'm curious as to see what can all come from the engram now. Because if all this kind of stuff can drop from here, theoretically, you could spam the engrams and get some of these old adepts with better rolls than what he has available. Interesting. I will have to test that. But with that being said, I believe that wraps us up for now, because I don't think there's really anything else that we can look at. They took out armor. They took out, what else did they take out? They just changed how some things work. Oh, I was getting ready to say I could go and see Saint and see what the weapon is for the week, but there's not a weekly weapon. It's just they all drop whatever they drop. I don't know, man. It's weird times for Destiny right now, but with all of that being said, I do appreciate all of you. I hope you're all enjoying the content so far. I believe this is the 3rd week of the season, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot personally. I think the campaign was one of the best campaigns they've ever done. It might be my #1 campaign. I'm angry that I'm so far behind, but work and life and everything else has just consumed so much of my time. Even when I try and set time aside to purposely do things, I kind of wind up not being able to do them a lot of the time, which sucks, but hey, it's part of life, you know. So with all of that being said, I do believe I will get out of here. You guys are fantastic. I love you all, and I hope that you all are enjoying the content. Let me know below what you think about the season, and if you're enjoying Solstice. I am going to flex real quick because I got this on like my 2nd run of, it wasn't Caldera, it was something else. It was whatever the one was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. But I first run of a solo ops with the new Solstice stuff up. Tier 4 shiny with Ambitious Assassin and One for All. And just, yeah, this is really nice, and I'm really happy that I got this first drop. See, this is my luck. This gun that I didn't really care about initially, just drops like this. And then like the other stuff that I do care about, like I farmed a bunch of the hand cannons, I don't know. My luck is goofy sometimes, so that is what that is. But once again, I'll get out of you guys' hair. You all have a good one. I love you all to death. Tell me in the comments what you think about the expansion so far, and what you think I should start doing on Tuesdays, because we need a new video idea. And I am not creative enough to always have a new video idea every single Tuesday. I can promise you that. So, thank you all for watching. If you're new around here, please leave a subscription before you go. I said that terribly, but hey, I'm tired. I'm kind of in a hurry now, so we can deal with it. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And turn on those notifications so you never miss another video from your Destiny Dad again. With all that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good week, Guardians.